It's always game day in Cleveland, brought to you by our friends at Smiley One and Bryant, Northeast Ohio's heating and cooling experts. He's Daryl Ruiter. I'm Andy Baskin. The aftermath as we swim into 2 weeks of being off, where the Browns will take on the San Francisco 49ers a week from Sunday. So some time off from football for fans to kind of decompress after the loss to the Baltimore Ravens. Daryl, as you have had a little bit of time here since our post-game podcast, new thoughts going through your head?
Yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate, the Deshaun Watson situation and how Kevin Stefanski handled it from a game planning standpoint. Certainly understand Deshaun was hurt, couldn't go, but shame on Kevin Stefanski and the Cleveland Browns for not being prepared for that eventuality. You know, my thoughts as far as the correlation to the Baker Mayfield situation remain unchanged, because they've been through this before. They've been through a player telling him that they are, he's healthy enough to play and whatnot. And it basically torpedoed a season, right? So they should have known better organizationally. They should have said, Deshaun, we know you're hurt. Take the week off. We're making sure that DTR is 100% prepped. We're putting in a specific game plan for him, and that was that. And again, I understand the flip side of the coin. If there's a chance that you can put Deshaun Watson on the field, you have to do it. And I understand and respect that. But I feel like organizationally, the Cleveland Browns once again dropped the ball on this. So the good news is they have a bye week for Deshaun to get healthy and rest up, along with Myles Garrett. We'll see what Ethan posted. We'll get into the couple other injuries in a minute. But yeah, I feel like they did drop the ball here. And they really did put DTR in a untenable situation to where he just had minimal chance for success.
All right, so let's walk through exactly what happened, because I think Kevin Stefanski explained that, and you walked through it because I thought you asked the question at the press conference today, and I thought that you had the timeline pretty down pat, especially with saying, hey, look, you guys basically said he was going to play on Saturday.
Yeah. So what happened was, to take it back to practice last week, right? Wednesday, we go out there. He's not throwing a football. We had just got done speaking with him. We had just got done speaking with Kevin Stefanski. There was no mention of this, right? Mm-hmm. So then Thursday comes, and we have an opportunity to address it with Alex Van Pelt, because Kevin doesn't talk on Thursdays. That's the coordinator's day.
Correct.
And obviously Alex Van Pelt gives us nothing, because that's not his role as the offensive coordinator. He doesn't want to speak for the head coach, and I certainly respect that, right? But the impression is that, okay, he's going to play because he goes out on the field and we see him throw a little bit. Okay, nothing spectacular, nothing of any strenuous activity or whatnot, right? Very short passes in that. Okay, he's throwing a football. That's good to see. Friday comes, he's not throwing at all again. I think he threw twice, and it was a running back drill. Then he talks with Joe Sheehan, and they're walking the length of the field together. He's not taking mental reps. Like on Thursday, he stood behind DTR, sometimes with the ball in his hand, sometimes not. And he was doing, if you're watching on YouTube, he's doing the dropping back, simulating the dropping back and left, right, center, progressions and all that.
That's a mental rep, right?
Right. And he's going through the mental reps. Well, on Friday, Andy, he wasn't taking mental reps, at least during the portion of practice we're able to see. Now, I want to stress the fans, we see very little. We've talked about it before, but just to reiterate, we get to see them stretch. It's basically enough time for us to take attendance and make sure that everyone is there that they say is there, okay? Mm-hmm. We get to see them stretch. Then they all break off into their individual groups, and they go through the individual positional drills. So quarterbacks will start off by themselves. Then the running backs will come over. Then the tight ends and the receivers will come over for some, on-air type of routes and things like that. So we don't get to see a whole lot. Every once in a while during Friday's practice, they put something in while we're there on air per se. And what I mean by on air, that means there's no defense on the field. It's just the offense, the receiver, the running back, or the tight end is running the route without a defender there, right? And actually, this I'll give you a little inside football. I got yelled at last Friday at practice, not in a not in a mean spirited way. It's figure of speech. So what happened is I was ISOing on DTR with my phone, have my
Right.
phone, and I'm there, and I'm videoing DTR as he's throwing. And hear the coaches yell over, "Hey, stop! No filming, no filming. We're going through routes here." Okay, no problem. So I moved the phone over to shoot some Deshaun, who's behind everything. So then, I've got the phone in my hand, and Kevin's Stefanski's doing some coaching, and I had it in my right hand, so it looked like I was shooting it. I wasn't, but I had the phone
Right.
up. It was in my right hand, so it looked like I was, which I wasn't doing. So then a member of the staff comes over. "Hey, just want to make sure you're not No, we're good. I'm not shooting anything. I heard the coach. We're fine." And then one of the position coaches, I won't say who it is, but a position coach then came over. "Hey, Daryl, I just want to make sure you didn't get these 3 routes." I said, "No."
Right.
I said, "I was ISOing DTR because your starting quarterback isn't practicing today. I was not
Right.
filming receivers." And typically they don't mind if we film the receivers as long as they're tight. We're
Right.
actually showing the route tree that they're running and things. As long as, so, like, for instance, if I'm shooting Elijah Moore, right? He's running around how they like it. And again, inside football for folks when we're watching on TV, that's why you see those tight shots of players at practice when they're running routes and stuff like that. And it's real tight on them. It's so that we're not unintentionally giving away what that route tree looks like on the field. Okay. And putting that out there for public consumption. Cause it is true. Other teams media scour the internet to see what opposing media is putting out there from practice from a film standpoint. And sometimes stuff gets leaked out there that's not supposed to be. So I quote unquote got yelled at on Friday for, to make sure that I would not be putting something out. And obviously I would never do that. And I would, I'm respectful of their practice rules and guidelines in that regard, but just to give people a little inside, what it's like to be at practice covering things. But we do have to be mindful of that. And I'm always mindful of that. There have been times where they've done like, I don't think I should be filming this because it looks like it potentially could give something away. So anyway, Friday throws 2 passes, not taking any mental reps, talking to Joe Sheehan. I'm thinking this dude ain't playing. And then Saturday, and Kevin after practice, oh, he don't got to play. We're good, blah, blah, blah. Right. So then Saturday comes and I see a couple of the NFL insiders quoting Kevin Stefanski. "Hey, just got off the phone with Kevin Stefanski, who just told me they're confident Deshaun Watson's playing tomorrow. They're going to run him through a pregame regimen just to make sure that he's okay and all systems are go. But, he has expressed that he's okay and ready to play." So Sunday morning comes, and obviously, I get to the stadium around 10 a.m. anyway, just, as part of my game day schedule. I do my 9 a.m. hit for the game show on West 6th. I do that from home. As soon as that's done, I literally throw the headphones off, jump in the car, drive down to the stadium. I'm in the press box by 10 a.m. So I'm sitting in my seat. I'm waiting to see Deshaun come on the field. Pop down to the radio network booth to do our radio network hit that we do before games and that. And there's Deshaun. So I'm as I'm talking on the radio network, phone is out and I'm filming Deshaun Watson's warm up. And he's spending more time talking to Joe Sheehan than he is actually throwing the football. And he threw passes of like a couple of 5-yard passes, a couple of 7-yard passes, a couple of 12-yard passes, right? Then there's another confab, and they walk over where Andrew Berry, Alex Van Pelt, Kevin Stefanski, a couple other coaches, they're huddled there, and they have a 2-minute conversation. They shake hands, they dap up, and I'm like, well, crap, I don't know what to make of this.
Right.
I mean, obviously 1 of 2 options, right? They're dapping up because he's ready to go and he's going to play and they're happy and great, or they're saying, go, get him in 2 weeks. Well, it turns out they said get him in 2 weeks. They got it leaked out to all the NFL insiders that Deshaun.
Who leaks that out? Because that was out before the injury report.
Yeah, that I don't know, but it was communicated quickly to the NFL insiders, and not the people sitting in the press box. That's all.
Right. Okay.
So, and we were asking, trust me. So that gets out there that he's not going to play, and so we're a little surprised by that because, again, all signs, and I even said on our pregame show, Andy, I said my big concern wasn't whether or not Deshaun was going to play; it was how effective he was going to be.
Right.
Turns out He didn't play at all. I was a little surprised. Then the second thing that surprised me is that it looked like the Deshaun Watson game plan out there, that it looked like the Deshaun Watson script that DTR was running. And guess what, Andy?
It was.
It was. And again, I don't know how that happens. Here's my thing. And I said this with the afternoon guys, Monday afternoon. But if you're going to take a victory lap and pat yourselves on the back because a Saturday morning, you and Alex Van Pelt drew up a play that led to a touchdown in the game, right? Mm-hmm. Then why did you not have a second 15 ready to go for DTR? See what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, and we had this conversation in the postgame yesterday, and I asked you what you would have done differently. Now that we've had 24 hours to think about it, let's answer that question when we come back. It's always game day in Cleveland. Back after.